Hey everybody, Luxinda Swirl here. Okay, we are back to another MNG March 2021 Wanderlust box project. I realize since the last one went up on the 31st of March, this one will now be in April. And I apologize for that. It's been a rough, March was a rough month for me. But we're back and I want to do a cup. I am not probably going to do the double-walled acrylic clear Mickey Mouse ear tumbler that came with the box. Maybe I will eventually, but I haven't tried those yet, and I'm a little hesitant to do so. It's not in my wheelhouse and not in my, 'cause I hate to define myself like this, but there's some things I'm more interested in trying than other things. So storyboards may get pushed off for a while. So I'm going to do a different kind of tumbler today. We're going to focus on the glitters, and I am going to use Mr. Nola's Glitters Glass Coat Epoxy. That only makes sense. It didn't come in the box, but it's from the same store. So why not, right? I have a 20-ounce skinny straight tumbler from Makerflow. I will link to everything below. I'm going to use all 5 of the Candyland colors, which I've, of course, turned the labels face down. We have Lollipop Woods, Gummy Hills, Lemon Drop Lane, Licorice Lagoon, and Candy Castle, which also translate to red, orange, yellow, blue, and purple. I realized if we just had a green, this would be the rainbow. And I don't have a green square cut chunky mix I can substitute in, so we're just gonna work with it like this. That's more than fine. We have plenty of glitter here. I'm going to add a little extra oomph to wherever the glitter falls by dropping on some of my new mica hulls. These are micas mixed in 99% alcohol. If you want to find out more about that and you did not see the mica hull tumbler video I just posted a while back, or pretty recently, I will link to that below. That goes into more detail, but basically I'm going to do red with red, orange with orange, you get the idea, down to purple with purple. And it will just add a little more color to where the sparkles land, where the glitter lands. If at that point when I get all of these glitters on, I feel like it needs something else just because, I'm going to hit it with what's basically a cheat glitter, which is an opalescent called Killer Tofu from the Glitter Guy that will basically reflect the color of whatever it falls onto and give it a little more sparkle. I could also, when I mix up my Mr. Nola's Glass Coat epoxy resin, maybe I will add some Marabou Sparkle alcohol ink into that. You can't have too much sparkle, you really can't. And then the last thing, whether I use this or not, here's the other thing I would like to use if I see an opportunity to do so, which is the shaped glitter that came in the Wanderlust box in March. This is little wrapped candies in laser cut glitter pieces. So I'll try and sprinkle some of those on as well. And then we'll let it spin overnight and cure up, and we will come back and do the next part tomorrow. It'll just be seconds for you, it'll be tomorrow for me. So I'm gonna gear up, mute, fast mo, sit back and enjoy the show. And we're back. Okay, I realized that before I go on to the next coat of epoxy, which this absolutely needs, I mean, the glitter's right there on top, so it will need at least one coat of epoxy, probably two, before I can do any decals or applications of graphics of any sort. So before I get to the layers of epoxy I want to put on here, I want to just use my CCDIY, Counterculture DIY Quick Coat. It's a urethane sealer. It's a little more substantial than spraying on like Rust-Oleum Clear, which would also certainly seal the glitter on. I don't think it's going to move because it's embedded in the epoxy we started with. But at the same time, I would love to fill in some little, as they say, nooks and crannies along here just to make the coats of epoxy smoother. Basically, this is just going to help me get to a smoother coat of resin, hopefully with one coat, but like I said, I'll probably need two. So I'm just going to start with this. This takes about 45 minutes to dry. So I'm going to just do this right here, right now, provided I can get the bottle open. I bought a couple bottles of this a while back. And you have the option to buy one of these applicator caps to switch on when you get your bottle, and it helps the application process, obviously. So here we go. Just gonna put this on. And even though I don't think the glitter is moving at all, I'm going to stick within each glitter band. So I'll go around and do this band first with the purple, and then move down to the blue, etc., etc. There really isn't much to see. This is not the consistency of epoxy. This is much thinner. And we're back. Okay, I have put a layer of epoxy resin on top of the really thick layer that was thoroughly dried of CCDIY Quick Coat. So I sealed it with Quick Coat, like I said, a really thick layer, and I let that dry completely, and then I put a nice solid layer of epoxy resin on top. And to my great surprise, the CCDIY Quick Coat really did a fantastic job, because pretty much this entire one layer of epoxy on top of that is smooth. I did do a little light sanding down here and a little light sanding up here, and in a couple other spots there was one little jagged piece, like 2 or 3 different places poking up. So I did a little light sanding there. I cleaned everything off, but the middle bit was perfect, so I went ahead and put my saying on. I hope you can see it. I will do a close-up for this part. See if you can see that it says "Slay them with sweetness," and I even added a few of my own wrapped candies there. I picked the green holographic sparkle just because you may recall when I was going through the colors, I noticed it was almost all the rainbow colors except green in the middle. So now we have green in the middle. Bonus. Okay, so I've got my saying on there, and I could just stop here. I mean, I think this is beautiful. I could cover it with another layer of epoxy resin and call it a cup. I could even call it a finished cup, unless of course somebody wanted their name on the other side. Could add that, do another layer of epoxy resin, and then it would be a done deal. However, just because I like to complicate things and fiddle with things and try new things, I have this set from a while ago of Arteza metallic markers. These are water-based. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know how it's going to look. I may start, one line and decide I just don't like it at all. And in which case, I may not even show you this part of the video. But I will. Even if I decide not to do this, I will show this part of the video because I try to show you all the things I do, even though I cut out a lot of boring stuff where I just breathe while I'm thinking what to say next. And, you know, flubs. I flub a lot too. So anyway, what I was thinking here, I don't have an orange, but I do have a gold. So what I was thinking was in between the layers, instead of doing vinyl, because I didn't make straight lines. I really didn't try even. So I was going to try drawing a line with a metallic purple marker here. Then, let's see if I can turn this around a little, get the plain side. Then a blue marker here between the blue and the yellow, and then gold for between the gold and the orange. And then what I don't have is an orange marker, so I will just at that point use the red marker here. I'll come up from the bottom and do this between the red and the orange. Like I say, this may look great, or at least interesting. It may look like crap, in which case I will just take some rubbing alcohol and wipe it all off. And then, well, let's just try. Let's just start with our purple and see what happens. Okay. Again, I am not a fine artist. I'm really not. So I'm not gonna worry about, I'm certainly not gonna do straight lines. That's part of the appeal here. Is I'm just gonna kind of follow the line. Let's see if I can get this to turn in the right direction. Come on, go the other way. Come on. Oh, for heaven's sake, come on. I mean, I could go this way, but you know, I want you to go the other way. Hey, there we go. And it may be going too fast for me anyway. Oh, okay. That's not too bad. The other thing I could have done was use the drips provided in the MNG box. Hang on a sec. We did have these pre-printed clear cast drips in each of the 5 colors provided of the glitter, but I don't know. I didn't really want to cover up my sparkles with these, even though they're sparkly too. I figured this would look better on maybe a plain Jane cup, you know, just an all white or all green or something like that. So I decided to do something a little different, and that's why I pulled out my Arteza markers. Let's see if I need to touch this up anywhere. I could do gold on each as well. Okay. This may be one of those things that's only noticeable. I have to be careful. Do not want to mark up my saying there. Maybe I will just turn it off. Maybe I should just do this slow. There we go. I'll do it this way. Then I don't have to rely on the cup turner to match my really slow drawing speed. To clean up this double line here. So I should be able to do this with alcohol. Yes, that works just fine. There we go. All right, you can barely see it, but it's something. It's a little extra something something, as they say. I kind of think that's cool. I have done everything I planned on doing to this cup. So I'm going to take it outside. I am going to tack this down, the decal, the vinyl decal. I'm going to tack that down with some UV resin and set it in the sun to cure for a few minutes. I'm going to spray the whole thing with Rust-Oleum 2X matte clear, because that will give the final layer of epoxy something to hold on to. And then I will put the final layer of resin on, probably with some Marabou sparkles in it, although it's already pretty sparkly, but you know, just because. And then I will bring you back for the big reveal. And boy, will this look amazing. Betcha, betcha. Stay tuned, everybody.